Hi people, it's Archivist here coming at you with yet another top 5. Violence is an element that persists throughout the gaming world to varying degrees, from barely noticeable to brutal dismemberment. Some hate it, I though absolutely love it. So in today's list, I will be going through my top 5 violent video games for PS3, Xbox 360 and modern PC.
Number 5.
I didn't actually know about Sniper Elite V2 until very recently. I just saw it in a Steam sale and thought I'd give it a go. At first it seemed like a fairly standard third person shooter, but it wasn't long before I discovered the slow motion kill shots. Normal slow motion kills are quite entertaining but nothing too violent. However, if you hit a target in a specific location from a fair distance, the camera will go into an X-ray mode. Skulls splinter, eyes pop, and brains are obliterated. Lovely stuff.
Number 4.
In Metal Gear Rising, players take control of Cyborg Raiden. The gimmick of Rising is that you can slash your opponents into little pieces in any way you wish. Although this system is designed primarily for tactical purposes, you can be quite creative with it. Being able to dynamically dismember attackers in a flurry of ferocious strikes is ridiculous fun. Blood spurts from open wounds, limbs litter the floor, and the cries of your opponents are only silenced when you disconnect their heads from their bodies.
Number 3.
Bulletstorm actively encourages players to kill opponents in as gruesome a fashion as possible. You can wrap grenades around enemies, impale them on cacti, and generally blast them into a cloud of crimson. One of the best features in Bulletstorm though would probably be the energy leash. The energy leash is a whip-like energy rope which can pull enemies towards you and causes them to travel in slow motion for a limited amount of time. While your enemies float helplessly in front of you, there is a lot of room for creativity.
Number 2.
One of my favourite games of last gen also happens to be one of the most violent. Kratos may have his anger issues, but there is no shortage of enemies for him to take it out on. Be it a mere peon or a full-on god, Kratos will fight anyone who stands in his way. Once Kratos has beaten his enemies within an inch of their life, he will then proceed to end them in a gruesome display of carnage. Some of these can actually be quite disturbing to watch, especially in the case of Helios. Even Kratos himself becomes covered in blood as you decimate the forces of evil. By the end of certain fights, you can barely see his pale white skin anymore.
It's number 1.
Mortal Kombat has a legacy of violence, and NetherRealm Studios were pulling no punches when it came to the latest installment. The fatality has certainly cemented itself into gaming culture, and it's not hard to see why. After defeating your opponent, you can enter a special code to finish them off in style. The fatalities can range from shockingly violent to potentially traumatizing. Everyone has their favourite, and mine would probably have to be Smoke Steam Kill. The sheer amount of pain that this finisher must cause is unfathomably high. Those are my top 5 violent video games for PS3, Xbox 360 and modern PC. Let me know what video games you think are the most violent in the comments below. As always people, thanks very much for watching and see you next time.